Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Making headlines this morning, jurors weighing charges against Kyle Rittenhouse will return today for a second round of deliberations in his murder trial.
If you're missing the autumn weather, Mike says hang on, it will return in dramatic fashion. We'll talk to him in a moment. Good morning, everybody. We've made it to midweek. It is Wednesday, the 17th.
Thanks for joining us this morning. It almost feels like November, I think, just because I know there's a cool front coming.
There is a cool front coming, and the lines are getting longer at grocery store checkouts. Let's see, we are now about 1 week away from Turkey Day.
Yeah, this is Thanksgiving Eve. When people are going to be scrambling going, oh, I forgot the cranberry sauce. So anyway, yes, it is going to feel like you can get your mind thinking fall, but by this time tomorrow morning, yes, it is going to feel a whole lot more like fall than it does right now. Good looking view out there. We do have some clouds, obviously. There is some fog this morning. It's not as thick as what it was at this time yesterday. Down to 3 miles visibility in New Braunfels, 5 Randolph, 7 Castroville, a little more out toward Uvalde. We do have a bit of a breeze like around Bernie Stage, Kerrville, which obviously helps prevent some of that fog from forming. But just kind of keep that in mind that there may be a couple little spots of some patchy fog around here. 65 degrees. The normal low temperature is 49. So just do the math. We are way, way above where we should be. Everybody's in the 60. Well, couple of spots there around Randolph, just in the upper 50s, and these dew point temperatures remain very high, and they're going to stay on the higher side throughout the day, and then they'll be dropping like a rock temporarily. Mold, pigweed, and ragweed are all on the low side. Temperatures will stay right where they are, basically 63 here in town. Couple of patches of fog, otherwise some clouds this morning, more sunshine later on today. Nope, that's not November temperatures. We're about 10 degrees above normal once again. Like I said, that's all going to be changing. How long does fall stick around? Then there's another front down the road. So we'll get this all sorted out as we head into, Thanksgiving week already next week. Details in just a couple of minutes. Steph, Mark.
Thank you, Mike. This morning, there's still no word on what caused a 5-vehicle crash in West Bexar County. Northside ISD reporting that 3 students from Brennan High School were involved. It happened near the school on Wiseman Boulevard and Cottonwood on Monday. Bexar County deputies confirming no one was killed at the time of that crash, but they did note someone was thrown from one of the vehicles and hurt their leg. That person was taken to the hospital.
Today is day 2 of jury deliberations in the Kyle Rittenhouse trial. The teenager charged with killing 2 people during protests in Wisconsin last year.
And as we await a verdict, we're seeing some tense moments unfold outside the courthouse. ABC's Andrew Dimbert has more.
This morning, Wisconsin's governor is asking for peace in Kenosha as the jury resumes deliberations at the Kyle Rittenhouse trial. Emotions running high outside court Tuesday, clashes breaking out between supporters of Rittenhouse and those who insist he's guilty.
It's not about that, bro.
We talked to you afterward? Nah.
As our station in Milwaukee spoke to one Rittenhouse supporter, another woman interrupted the interview.
Why y'all talking to her?
We're trying to get both sides of this.
Ain't no both sides of it's murder.
Rittenhouse faces life in prison if he's convicted of the most serious charge of intentional homicide. He claims he acted in self-defense last year when he fatally shot 2 men, saying he was protecting property in Kenosha during protests after the police shooting of Jacob Blake. Before the jury began deliberations, this highly unusual sight in court, Rittenhouse drawing numbers himself to determine which 6 jurors out of the 18 would be dismissed from considering his fate. One legal expert calling it an interesting piece of theater. But the judge says defendants in his courtroom have pulled the numbers of jurors for years. The jury then deliberated for about 8 hours Tuesday, asking the judge for extra copies of the jury instructions that explain self-defense and provocation, both at the heart of this case. Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, New York.
There is a push by Pfizer-BioNTech to make their COVID booster shot available to any adult who wants one. The Food and Drug Administration considering the company's request to amend its emergency use authorization. A spokesperson for the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says it will meet Friday to discuss expanding booster eligibility. If the FDA greenlights the change, the next step would require the CDC director to sign off on the plan. But many adults are already eligible. Anyone over 65 or at high risk of infection or exposure can get a booster 6 months after their last shot.
The Justice Department asking for the longest sentence yet for a defendant charged in the January 6th insurrection at the Capitol. They're asking for so-called QAnon shaman Jacob Chansley to be sentenced to a prison term of more than 4 years, followed by 3 years of supervised release. Pictures of Chansley went viral after the incident. He appeared shirtless, wearing face paint and a horned furry headdress while he led others through the Capitol. Prosecutors said in a sentencing request that they hope to use Chansley's sentence as an example to deter future attacks on the government. Chansley, who has been in jail for nearly 10 months, is set to be sentenced next week.
Today, the U.S. Interior Department will auction vast oil reserves in the Gulf of Mexico, estimated to hold up to 1.1 billion barrels of crude. It's the first such sale under President Joe Biden and underscores the challenges he faces to reach climate goals that rely on deep cuts in fossil fuel emissions. It'll be years before companies could actually start pumping the crude. That means that could keep producing long oil past 2030, when some scientists have said the world needs to have drastically cut greenhouse gas emissions. Right now, 436, about 63 degrees.
And still ahead, a Texas retired Air Force colonel telling his unique story in a brand new book.
And the Spurs adding another loss to their road trip record against the Clippers late last night. Highlights just ahead.
And taking a look outside with live cam this morning, we're at 63 degrees. We're expecting a nice warm day, but things will change soon. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. Time for a look at sports. DeJounte Murray coming off a triple-double Sunday night in the Staples Center against the Lakers, hoping that production could help against the Kawhi-less Clippers last night. First shot of the game for Spurs. Derek White knocks down the step-back three to get the Spurs off on the right foot. Murray, meanwhile, narrowly missed his second triple-double, leading the Spurs with 26 points, 12 rebounds, and 9 assists. Still wasn't enough as the Spurs couldn't follow through, losing to the Clips 106-92 in L.A. Derek White added 19. Drew Eubanks had 10 rebounds in the Spurs' third straight loss. Spurs now drop to 2-6 on the road. Up next, Spurs visit Minnesota tomorrow to finish a 3-game trip. For the undefeated UTSA Roadrunners, all comes down to one game this Saturday when the team hosts the University of Alabama at Birmingham. If the 10-0 Roadrunners win, they take the Conference USA West Division title for the first time in school history. UTSA would then host the Conference USA Championship at the Alamo Dome. Should UAB win, they would have the inside track on the title, but still must win out against UTEP the following week. Since UAB returned to playing football in 2017, the Roadrunners have never beaten the Blazers.
We know we're playing the champs. They've won 3 years in a row. We know how much this game really means to our program. I can't recall the last time a UTSA team beat UAB, let alone play them for a championship like this. We know they're a really good team. They're really physical up front. Their linebackers fly around. Their safeties can cover, and they tackle well. We know they're a really good team. They're probably the most physical defense we've played all year, and we think it's a great challenge for our offense to go match it.
It means a lot knowing we haven't beat them and knowing that they're the defending conference champs, so it gives us another chip on our shoulder to go out and win.
The main thing is just playing poise and noise. That's what we're taught. Trusting the triangle and just doing our job, doing our 1/11th on the field. Take care of your job to the best of your ability with perfect effort, and that's all they can ask of us, and that's what we're going to do.
The Roadrunners have now moved up to number 22 in the college football playoff rankings. Kickoff at the Dome on Saturday, set for 2:30.
Pro football coverage powered by Davis Law Firm.
The Dallas Cowboys looking to start on the win streak when they face the Chiefs in Kansas City Sunday afternoon. The Cowboys still celebrating their best all-around game of the season in all three phases: offense, defense, and special teams. In fact, the Cowboys special teams has now blocked a punt in 3 of their last 4 games, including one by Torrance Armstrong that resulted in a Cowboys touchdown. Kickoff against the Chiefs is Sunday, starting at 3:25 p.m.
We'll see what happens. Time now, 4:41, about 63 degrees. Still ahead, a look at a new book that's part Texas history, part humor, and written by an Air Force colonel turned Baptist preacher.
And up next, we're getting a first-hand look at holiday crunch time at UPS's largest shipping hub in the world.
And welcome back. Good Morning America goes inside UPS's largest shipping hub in the world, showing the operation to get your packages to you on time. ABC's Gio Benitez has the details in today's GMA First Look.
In this morning's GMA First Look, an ABC News exclusive.
We're flowing 255,000 an hour.
We're getting a first-hand look at holiday crunch time at UPS's largest shipping hub in the world, Worldport.
Here at the UPS Worldport in Louisville, they are hard at work. They say holiday shipments are already going out, and it's just mid-November. Volume is going up. So you haven't experienced a lot of these delays we've been seeing around the world?
No, it's really not affected us here at Worldport or UPS.
And why is that?
Just because the things that we've done and put in place as far as getting ready for peak season and the preparation and extra capacity that we've added, our network's running on time and we are good to go.
And coming up at 7 a.m., we'll tell you how you can ship and receive your packages on time for the holidays. With your GMA First Look, I'm Gio Benitez, ABC News, Louisville, Kentucky.
Back here at home, they say everybody has a story. In the case of an 89-year-old retired Air Force colonel, he has a whole book full.
You can credit tough times and his wife, who says she's the burr under his saddle. Marilyn Moritz has her story.
He's still going.
68 is a lot of years to be married.
You go first.
But to Jerry and Lucille Bullock, 16 months seemed longer.
We were so fortunate to have each other.
This cozy apartment is where they spent monotonous days in pandemic isolation, protected but missing people, feeling forgotten.
Lonesome.
So as the calendar turned,
we thought now is the time to do it.
Write a book. This book, My Uncle Nathan, just published in paperback. It's a collection of life stories. Jerry jokes some are even true, all punctuated with wit and wisdom.
They are faith-based, but they're not preachy.
Jerry, an Air Force colonel turned Baptist preacher, is the writer and illustrator, thanks to the internet.
I took art lessons so that I could illustrate the book.
Gripping the pencils in his shaky hand, he sketched each story, like the one about the girl who moved to Texas.
My mama says God ain't got to Texas yet, and she's not sure he's coming.
A writer needs a stickler of an editor. That's Lucille, magnifying glass in hand.
He had to stay after school to diagram sentences, but it didn't take. He doesn't know a noun from a verb.
The book is part Texas history, part humor. Lucille edited that, too.
No, he tells them I think are not funny. We took him out of the book. I said, that's not even funny.
But in the gospel, according to Jerry, you can find humor just about anywhere.
They're not sure anyone will even read the book, and it won't be a bestseller. But it is a classic. And mine, it's even autographed.
Thanks for telling the story, Jerry Bullock. These two have another book in the works, but that's another story. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
Oh, good teaser. Now we are left wanting more.
What a team.
I know, right? So author, artist, and then a really tough editor, too.
Yes, she seems pretty tough, actually.
Yeah, she's like Simon & Schuster and Random House put together.
She's on him.
The Bullocks. Nice to meet you guys, and happy holidays, of course. Mike's here with more on our next front. Yes, sir, I know you probably have a little comment.
Great. Just a great story, Marilyn.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. Boy, I bet just to sit down with those two and
that'd be a hoot, wouldn't it?
Oh, my goodness gracious. That'd be worth the price of admission. All right. The flowers think it's springtime. They're going to be thinking it's springtime all day long, but that is going to be changing later on tonight. So, yes, you will have an opportunity to wear a coat and a sweater. Maybe just for a couple of days this time around, but at least we'll have that chance. So we've got clouds. It feels almost identical to yesterday, as we were talking about. Once again, we do have some fog, not as thick as what it was at this time yesterday. 3 miles visibility, New Braunfels, 5 Randolph, 7 Castroville, a little bit out toward Uvalde and Victoria, a lot of it. And of course, got to keep watching this. There's a bit more of a breeze here and there, and that's what's helping to prevent a lot of the fog from forming up. But again, just be on the lookout for it this morning. All right. Here's dew-point temperatures. Remain very high, and that's going to be the case throughout most of the day. There comes the drier air along with the front. So this is going to start to work its way in here late tonight, in the wee hours just after midnight tomorrow morning, and then throughout the morning hours. And the wind's going to be shifting around. That drier air will continue to come on in here and just push its way all the way down to the south throughout the day tomorrow. So with this bone dry air, it's going to be very, very comfortable tomorrow. As a matter of fact, it's going to be kind of on the blustery, chilly side with temperatures that are going to be almost 20 degrees lower than where they've been yesterday and the day before that, and what it will be today. And also it's going to be very breezy with wind out of the north, about probably 15, 25 miles per hour. Great grilled cheese and soup weather tomorrow. Anyway, as the humidity drops off then tomorrow and Friday, it returns very quickly over the weekend. I mean, look at this big old roller coaster here. And then we have another front coming through later on Sunday, and that's for the first part of next week. So yeah, the front is not going to be around, or the cooler air is not going to be around that long, but at least we get another shot of it coming on in here. Also, as the front moves on through here, like I said, it will touch off a couple of showers. Don't get really excited about rain chances later on tonight. We'll clear out nicely in the afternoon tomorrow, as well as Friday. Saturday, a few more clouds. Sunday, more clouds. Maybe a stray shower with the next front. But again, as you saw, the computer models aren't really too anxious about that. There will be a couple of showers, and that'll be, I think, about the extent of it. And then the first part of the week next week looks pretty good. Late next week, though, there are some indications that not only we're going to see a lot more clouds around here, but we could see some more rain by Thursday and Friday of next week. So still a little more than a week away, kind of wait and see situation. Anyway, today, 75 degrees, mostly sunny skies, very warm, already 4, almost 5 degrees above normal. And then a high temperature today makes it up to 82. Mostly sunny skies, still a little bit of a breeze out there. The front moves through late tonight, maybe a couple of showers. I wouldn't count on that. Windy tomorrow, only 64 for a high temperature. Yes. And then 44 starting off Friday morning. That's going to be downright really cold. 67. And then we're back up into the 70s, mid and upper 70s over the weekend. More humidity next front late Sunday into Monday.
You know what I don't see on your map there, Mike? The number 38. 38 days till Christmas.
Oh, I thought you meant I thought you meant like 38 degrees. I was like, not that cold.
I snuck it in there. That's
yes,
right.
You did.
You can be mad at me during the break. Or now. 4:51, 63 degrees.
And still ahead, a new film featuring Venus and Serena Williams already getting high praise. Plus, lots of new shows are debuting on streaming this week.
Here are your lottery numbers. We'll look for 38 here, too. Pick 3 numbers, 343, Fireball 5. Your daily 4 numbers, 1305, Fireball 7.
Cash 5, 4, 13, 17, 20, 26. And your Mega Millions, 6, 22, 44, 53, 65, Mega Ball 3, Mega Plier 3. Good luck.
There's already some Oscar buzz about the upcoming King Richard film, plus Tiger King 2 debuts today.
For the latest on what's happening in Hollywood, here's ABC's Jason Nathanson.
Watch him hit a few balls. All right. So tell me your names again.
I'm Venus. I'm Serena.
As the Oscars race starts to take shape, King Richard is a name you might hear a lot. The movie tells the story of Venus and Serena Williams' father, Richard, played by Will Smith, and his plan to make his daughters the best tennis players that ever lived. Tony Goldwyn plays tennis coach Paul Cohen, and he tells me the movie is about more than just ambition.
It's deeply inspiring about family and the power of family and the ability of, people to make their dreams come through through honestly the power of love.
King Richard swings its way into theaters and HBO Max on Friday.
I didn't choose this path, but I will follow it.
The new fantasy series, The Wheel of Time, combines magic and action with a mix of gender and power dynamics. Madeline Madden stars as a villager just learning about her powers, telling me the show takes place in a time where magic exists.
Only women are allowed to touch this magic or wield it. So obviously there is a power struggle between the genders that is explored throughout the course of the series.
The Wheel of Time, based on the wildly popular book series, is out Friday on Amazon Prime Video.
When you think you've seen it all, you haven't quite seen it all.
Out today, the fight for the Jungle Crown continues in Tiger King 2 on Netflix. And on Hulu, Marvel's Hit Monkey is billed as an animated series for adults. And happy birthday today to Martin Scorsese. The Oscar-winning filmmaker is 79, while Drag Race host RuPaul is 61. And that's what's happening in Hollywood. I'm Jason Nathanson, ABC News, Los Angeles.
And time now, it's 4:56 and about 64 degrees out there.
Still ahead on GMSA, we'll tell you how soon the FDA is expected to authorize booster doses of Pfizer's coronavirus vaccine for all adults.
And are you ready to feel the metaverse? We're going to tell you about Mark Zuckerberg's new haptic gloves coming up in Tech Bites.
And ahead on GMSA at 6 later this morning, an iconic venue in the NBA getting a new name. We'll have all the details of what's happening over at what's about to be the former Staples Center. And TransGuide. We'll be right back.
COVID-19 infections are rising yet again. I'm ABC's M. Nguyen. We're learning that Pfizer is trying to get its booster and COVID-19 medication approved by the FDA. What that means for you, coming up.
So you put that jacket away or threw it in the back seat? Well, if you're going to need to pull it out or put it in the front seat. By this time tomorrow, Mike has more on how chilly it is about to get around here yet again. Good morning, everybody. It is Wednesday, and that would be November 17th.
Thanks for joining us this morning. We're about a week away from Thanksgiving Eve, so people getting ready for that, and we're definitely getting ready for the change in weather.
That's right. Mike has more on when this next front will be here in San Antonio.
It will be here late tonight, right around, say 11, 12 o'clock, obviously sooner in portions of the hill country. And then by this time tomorrow, we are going to be seeing some windier conditions and much cooler conditions. Anything but that today. Once again, it is about 15 degrees. Actually, do the math, 49 is the normal low, so 17 degrees above normal right now. And the dew point remains up there in the 60s, so very high humidity. 82 again today. And yeah, that's, let's see, about 12 degrees, 11, 12 degrees above that normal high temperature. Same thing that we had yesterday. The aquifer dropped down half a foot on yesterday's reading, and the allergens, just light amounts of mold, pigweed, and ragweed are showing up. Also showing up once again this morning is a little bit of fog. It's not as thick as what it was at this time yesterday. We do have somewhat of a breeze in places, but up around New Braunfels, we do have a little bit of that fog that is showing up and just kind of scattered about here. But I don't think it's going to be a huge issue, as long as we keep some of that breeze around here, like Bernie Stage and Kerrville. You've got a little more wind, but over there around Uvalde, Victoria, some of that. So again, just kind of be on the lookout for that fog throughout the rest of the morning. So mostly sunny today and very warm, well above normal. Now, the front moves through tonight. It's going to start to work its way into the hill country late this evening, and then over the course of the next few hours into the wee hours tomorrow morning. A couple of showers going to be generated by this. Don't get really excited about rain chances, unfortunately. There'll be just one or two of them out there. Windy, much cooler tomorrow. We'll have temperatures in the mid 60s throughout the afternoon. So yeah, it's definitely going to be jacket weather, and then really jacket weather by Friday. Chilly, I don't think that kind of really tells the whole story. Basically cold Friday morning down in the mid 40s around here. And then throughout the weekend, it's going to be milder, preceding another front that moves through late in the weekend. We'll get it all sorted out and take a sneak peek into Thanksgiving week coming up. Traffic Authority, Stephen Cavazos. Good morning, sir. Anything going on out there?
Hey, good morning, Mike. Looking forward to that sweater weather. Right now, TransGuide does show some pretty empty roadways there at 35 at Cesar Chavez. Still pretty dark out there. Very dark here off 35 at FM 1103, where we still have some construction crews out there this morning. But taking a quick look around town, traffic is light, and in some areas, pretty much empty. But that's not a bad thing, especially that is, if you're heading out the door in the next few moments. Let's take a look right now at the map. Be on the lookout for this stall off I-10 westbound at Woodlake Parkway. It was causing some restricted flow in that area, so just again, make sure you move over or slow down when you see those flashing lights. But a wider look at the map does show pretty much a green start to Tuesday morning, or Wednesday morning. Can't believe we're already here on Wednesday. Let's take a look at these inbound times if you're traveling into the San Antonio area in the next few moments. Right now, coming in from Bernie and I-10, it's just 24 minutes at this hour, 26 from 281 and Bulverde, and we're looking at 27 coming in from 35. So that construction is not causing so much of a delay at this hour. But coming up a little bit later on in this newscast, we'll take a look at more construction spots, and we're going to definitely take a look at what's going on up on 35. Guys?
Thank you very much, Stephen. The FDA expected to approve booster shots for everyone 18 and older by the end of the week, just in time to try and curb infections over the holidays.
ABC's M. Nguyen has the latest this morning.
After weeks of declines, COVID-19 cases are climbing yet again. At least 21 states are reporting a rise in infections, and 12 are seeing more hospitalizations now than just last week. The nation's top infectious disease expert, Dr. Anthony Fauci, warns there are several factors fueling the recent surge.
When you have a virus as transmissible as Delta, in the context of waning immunity, that dynamic is going to negatively impact even the vaccinated people. So it's a double whammy. The unvaccinated are clearly highly vulnerable.
Right now, boosters are available for high-risk people and anyone who got the J&J vaccine. That could change as early as Friday. ABC is learning the FDA may expand authorization for the Pfizer vaccine booster for anyone 18 and older. This comes as a growing number of states have already expanded access to the shots.
Anyone who wants a booster can get a booster shot.
There's plenty of supply. We'll get this out. That's how we're going to get through these holidays safely.
The new steps towards more booster and treatment accessibility is a sign of hope for states like New York. New York City's mayor announcing plans for New Year's Eve, saying crowds are welcome to come back to Times Square again with proof of vaccination or a negative COVID test.
This New Year's Eve, Times Square, everyone come on down. We're celebrating.
Pfizer is also asking the FDA for authorization for its new antiviral pill called Paxlavid. It's a COVID-19 medication which early trials show can reduce the risk of deaths and hospitalizations by 89%. In Washington, Emwin, ABC News.
And here at home, with Thanksgiving around the corner, Metro Health is concerned about another possible surge in COVID cases. The health department reported 268 new cases of COVID-19 on Tuesday, so that's a jump from 188 reported on Friday. Doctors are saying the best way to protect you and your family this holiday season is to get vaccinated. If everyone at your celebration is not fully protected, they recommend Thanksgiving outside and with masks on. Currently, Metro Health's COVID risk dial is still in the low category. Hospital trends, average case count, and positivity rate are all low.
We need to keep that momentum. So we want to encourage everyone who's eligible to get vaccinated to get vaccinated. That, now it's 5 years and older.
Dr. Espinosa said they are concerned and will be monitoring cases for the weeks after Thanksgiving, especially because kids and college students will be on break and possibly traveling.
5:06, about 64 degrees.
And still ahead, why Instagram may soon ask users to verify themselves with video selfies.
Plus, parts of our area will be getting more health care in the form of brand new hospitals.
And taking a look outside with live cam this morning, we're starting in the 60s and expecting another warm day, but we're excited about the changes to come. We'll be right back.
.510, welcome back. Our region getting another healthcare facility. This time it will be in Boerne.
The Baptist Health System will build a hospital there because so many people are moving there. So Baptist says the new facility could offer emergency care, but it would mostly stick to less severe injuries and limited hospital stays. Anyone who needs to stay longer would go to other hospitals like those in San Antonio.
Outpatient services, medical imaging, certainly going to work with our affiliated physician network to bring physicians to the community as well.
Mr. Phillips says it will offer an opportunity for physicians who live in Boerne to work in their own community. It's all set to open in late 2023 or early 24.
And this isn't the only new hospital coming to our area. Methodist Healthcare is in the process of building a new hospital in West Bexar County. Just last month, crews broke ground near Loop 1604 and Highway 151. That facility is set to have 54 acute care beds and a medical office building. It should be done in 2 years.
That's another part of town we're not going to recognize in just 10 years or less.
No, well, already, if you've been gone for a while and come back, it's completely different.
Yeah, my folks are coming for Thanksgiving. I can't wait to share them around San Antonio.
Here's the new San Antonio.
Wow, they're going to be amazed. 5:11, 64 degrees.
And still ahead, a first look at some new haptic gloves that would let people feel things in Mark Zuckerberg's metaverse.
And we'll tell you about Snapchat's new food scan feature.
Someday you'll be better than your grandpa.
You try it. I don't know what to draw. It doesn't matter what, just a line. Throw yourself in.
Take my place.
Don't be frustrated. Okay. Show me what you got there. Wow. Absolutely beautiful.
Are you okay?
Oh, it's just a cold. If you have high blood pressure, a cold is not just a cold. Unlike other cold medicines, Coricidin provides powerful cold relief without raising your blood pressure. Be there for life's best moments with Coricidin, now in sugar-free liquid.
2 loads of snot-covered laundry. Only 1 will be sanitized.
Wait, what?
Adding Lysol laundry sanitizer kills 99.9% of bacteria. Detergent alone can't. Clean is good. Sanitized is better.
Welcome back. Just about 5:16. This is interesting. Instagram is now asking some users to provide a video selfie to prove they are a real person. ABC's Andrew Dimmert has details in today's Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, Instagram is stepping up its efforts to get rid of bots. The site is reportedly asking suspicious accounts for video selfies to verify they're human. Some users say they've been asked to take selfies showing multiple angles of their face. Next, feeling the metaverse. That's Mark Zuckerberg testing out gloves that allow users to virtually feel texture and pressure, but they also allow you to play Jenga and chess. You can even handshake and fist bump in virtual reality. They've been in production for 7 years. And Snapchat's camera can now recommend recipes based on foods you scan. Thanks to a partnership with allrecipes.com, Snapchat can recognize more than 1,200 items and come up with more than 4,500 dishes. There will also be a Wikipedia link for each ingredient. That's if you have time for them. Those are your Tech Bites. Have a great day.
Let's see what Stephen Cavazos is cooking up over there in the traffic lab.
Yeah, what's going on there?
Well, usually the request is tacos per mic.
Yes.
So if we can turn this into like a little stove,
yeah,
that'd be awesome.
Just bring a portable one.
What are you waiting for?
Okay, I'll send in a request with our awesome engineers then. Okay, they want me to get to traffic. Let's take a look here at I-35 at FM 1103. Very dark out here, but of course you can see some flashing lights right behind me. That is because some construction crews still remain out there for some road work that they're hoping to complete that hopefully within the next few minutes. Let's take you right to the map because we are seeing a little bit of a slowdown already at this hour in the southbound lanes right at 35 at FM 1103. Traffic moving at 42 miles per hour. Not very fast. I was checking the TxDOT website a few moments ago, and this was listed to start at 9:30 this morning and wrap at 5:30 in the afternoon. So it looks like they may have gotten a head start, and we could be seeing this wrapping up hopefully within the next few minutes. Let's take a jump further down because we do have a stall here off 35 northbound at O'Connor, not causing as many issues that we're seeing up a little bit further on 35 at FM 1103. But just watch out for that stalled vehicle. And just as a reminder, that road work does continue there in the I-10 further up in Kendall County from started on Monday and should be wrapping up on Monday. It started Monday of last week and should be wrapping up December 6th. This is a full closure of the eastbound exit 540 ramp to State Highway 46 at Bandera Road. Traffic in the meantime, as a reminder, will be diverted to to use the US 87 exit ramp and use the Scenic Loop Road turnaround. Pardon me, I haven't had enough coffee here just yet, but as we take a wider look at the map, we do have a crash that just popped up of I-10 in Hebner. We'll take a closer look at that coming up in the next few moments, but make sure that you pack that patience this morning.
Good advice. Thank you, Stephen.
Before your desk gets modified, you can just go right out that door and the kitchen's right there.
Oh, that is true. We do have a stove.
Conveniently located by the traffic lab.
There you go.
Just give me a chef's hat.
It was an absolutely gorgeous day in Concan. Look at those blue skies out there and the moon, which is almost full. It's going to be full actually on Friday. And don't forget on Friday, well, if you wake up early enough Friday morning, talking about this time or even earlier than that, you're going to be able to see the lunar eclipse. Going to talk more about that in the next couple of days. A lot of clouds hanging out there right now. And again, we do have a little bit of fog. New Braunfels, Hondo, and Pleasanton are reporting some. Uvalde, and then over around Victoria. It's not as thick as what it was yesterday at this time, but just kind of be on the lookout for it. We've got a little bit more of a breeze out there, and so that's what's helping to prevent some of that fog. All right, you go upstairs in the atmosphere and bone dry air. So the picture from Concan, that's what we're going to be seeing later on today once we get rid of any of these low clouds hanging around here this morning. This darker shade of gray, and then you get that kind of brownish shade, and that indicates in mid to upper levels of the atmosphere almost no moisture up there. So that's why you do get those beautiful blue skies. Yesterday we did hit 81. 10 degrees above normal, 90 in Cotulla yesterday, and today pretty much the same situation. We're going to be upper 70s, low 80s all around the area, and that'll be it, at least for a couple of days, because fall is going to be coming back in here by late tonight with that front. So here's a computer model throughout the rest of today. not much going on. Tonight, a few more clouds. And then, now this model, if you're watching last half hour, the other model I showed had a couple of showers being kind of scared up by this front moving on through here. This one is definitely not as generous with any rain. There will be one or two of them out there, but it's not going to be a big deal by any stretch as far as rain is concerned. Maybe by this time, a couple of those sprinkly showers kind of hanging around here. And then we should start to see a little more sunshine later on tomorrow afternoon. And also it's going to be windy, and temperatures will be anywhere from 15 to 20 degrees cooler for high temperatures later on tomorrow afternoon. Big storm, that huge one up there in the prairie provinces of Canada and working its way into the northern tier of the United States. That's what's actually driving this front to move on through here. Look at that, 14 right now in Cutbank. Obviously, we're not going to be that cold, but this colder air will push on in. It's not going to stick around all that long. It'll be basically a couple of days. Then very quickly, the humidity is going to start to come back in here as we go into the weekend, and milder low temperatures. I mean, still cool in the mornings. Then we get another front to move on through here. So they're really starting to pick up in the cycle of fronts coming through every couple of days. 75 degrees, mostly sunny skies at noon, already well above normal. Then we top off at 82 later on today with mostly sunny skies. Front moves through tonight. About 11 o'clock, midnight or so in the wee hours of tomorrow morning, and it may touch off a couple of showers. 64 degrees. We're going to be very chilly. You will definitely need your jacket tomorrow morning, and then throughout the day tomorrow. 44 Friday, 67 Friday afternoon then, and if you do have a football game, Friday evening is going to be great football weather. Then it's much milder over the weekend, a little more humidity. Another front first of next week.
Weekend still looks good, though.
It does still look good. Stephen, I know we were talking tacos earlier, and it's a Wednesday. We can always talk about food. Do you remember when we used to do Weird Food Wednesday around here?
Weird food.
Yeah, so viewers would send in things that they eat that are kind of weird, and we would try them out on the air.
Oh.
And
wow.
We did it for months and months and months. Do you remember the weirdest thing you ever ate?
On Weird Food Wednesday?
On Weird Food Wednesday, because I know the one I'm thinking of right out the bat.
Okay, well, which ones do you remember?
Somebody eats vanilla ice cream with fresh avocado on it.
That is different.
It all got started because my mom and dad, when they were dating, would go to this one little place and they served peanut butter mayonnaise and onion sandwich.
Wait, what?
And I know peanut butter mayonnaise and onion. I know it sounds weird.
It
but
does.
The combination of flavors does go together.
Right.
Interesting.
Yeah, but do you remember the weirdest one you had? I remember you were there when we ate the vanilla with the avocado.
I don't.
Okay.
That was odd.
All right, it's been a while. All right, ponder that thought while your stomach
On
is
that note,
grumbling.
who's getting tacos?
Nobody's getting tacos. It's too early for DoorDash. I think 5:23, about 65 degrees.
And still ahead in your morning spotlight, the stars of King Richard talk about who's better at playing tennis. Plus, it's looking like a good award season for Summer of Soul.
Welcome back. When actors portray athletes, they have to at least look the part. But how do they get how do they really get is what I meant to say.
We'll find out. CNN's David Daniel has that and more in today's Hollywood Minute.
All right. So tell me your names again.
I'm Venus. I'm Serena.
Sanaya Sidney and Demi Singleton put in a lot of court time to play the young Venus and Serena Williams in King Richard. So who's the better tennis player?
I think we both did get pretty good.
Yeah, we were both quite good. I feel like, I don't know, we trained so much that we ended up just like rallying against each other, and it was kind of just like who's going to, get out of bounds first, but I always got stopped before we could even finish.
Nobody ever heard of the Harlem Culture Festival. Nobody would believe it happened.
It's the season for Summer of Soul. The documentary Summer of Soul, or When the Revolution Could Not Be Televised, led the way at the 6th Annual Critics' Choice Documentary Awards. Amir Questlove Thompson's film about the 1969 festival, with footage unseen for half a century, won 6 awards, including Best Documentary Feature. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
It's now 5:27, about 65 degrees.
And still ahead on GMSA, key decisions on whether all adults will be eligible for a COVID-19 vaccine booster could happen this week. We're going to tell you about Biden administration's plans to announce the purchase of Pfizer's experimental COVID-19 antiviral pill.
Are you ready for a furry new friend? Of course you are. We're going to check in with our friends over at the Animal Defense League coming up.
The walls of downtown seem to be talking quite a bit these days, and they have a lot to say. I'm Katrina Weber. I'll introduce you to the group behind all this colorful expression coming up.
Making headlines this morning, another tool in the fight against COVID, what the Biden administration is saying about Pfizer's experimental COVID-19 antiviral pill.
And taking a look outside with live cam, we're starting in the 60s this morning. Not too bad. We'll see some sunshine, but also looking forward to some changes.
And good morning to you. It's Wednesday, November 17th.
Thanks for joining us today. I can't wait for it to feel like November, and I guess we just have to wait till tonight.
A little bit longer. Mike said it's going to be a whole different ball game by tomorrow morning.
Yes, indeed. And the front's going to be moving through in about, 18 hours or so, give or take. Obviously through the hill country, first of all. So it's going to be 11 o'clock, 12 or midnight tomorrow morning, early morning hours tomorrow. First of all, it is spring out there. We do have some clouds, and as we were talking about, it's a lot like yesterday. Mid-60s. We are about 17 degrees above where the normal low temperature is, which is upper 40s right now, and that number is also very high. The dew point means there's a lot of moisture out there, but we do have a breeze this morning. So, yes, we do have some fog. New Braunfels is now back down to just 1 mile visibility, 7 Castroville, Hondo. In a lot of places, there's a little bit more of a breeze, so that's helping to prevent some really thick fog. But again, New Braunfels, which was doing okay for a while there, has now dropped down. So that's still going to be the case this morning. Still got to watch out for a couple of those patches here and there of some thicker fog. Mold, pigweed, ragweed are all on the low side. And throughout the rest of today, about the same temperature profile as yesterday. Mid-70s, well above normal at noon. 82 for a high temperature. Kind of breezy. Wind out of the south, 10 to 20 miles per hour. And a few more clouds then going into the evening hours. And then more clouds overnight. Couple of showers going to be possible. I wouldn't count on a lot of rain with this front, but it will definitely be. We're not going to see any of these numbers by tomorrow, which is going to be fantastic. Well, we'll have one in the 60s, but that'll be a high temperature tomorrow, only in the mid 60s. So yes, jacket weather will return. Will it last a long time? That's the big question. Details coming up in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, Stephen Cavazos. What's going on the highways, sir?
Hey, good morning, Mike. Well, we are staring out into the darkness here at the shot from 35 at FM 1103, but you can make out some of those flashing lights out there, including some vehicles that are moving pretty freely through that area. But keep in mind, there are still some construction crews that remain out there working to pick up some of the work that they've been doing overnight. Let's go ahead and take you right to the map and show you how that's looking. This is on I-35 southbound. Again, right at FM 1103. Traffic at this spot was moving pretty slowly, about 35 miles per hour the last time we brought this up. But right now it looks like it's picking up at 69 miles. But we still have that little stretch of orange and yellow there. So hopefully we'll be seeing those green lanes opening up pretty soon. Let's go ahead and do some jumping around here because we still have this stall that's not causing issues off I-35 northbound at O'Connor Road. But make sure you're watching out for those flashing lights. Another stall popped up here off I-37 southbound at Florida Street. So that could be the trending issue this morning. But as we take a wider look at the map, looks like we do have a pretty quiet start. Now, we do have this crash off of I-10. Doesn't look like it's on the highway. It actually looks like it's on Hebner, but we're going to continue to watch that closely. But for now, inbound times are green across the board. We're not seeing any real delays at this hour, especially if you're heading out the door in the next few moments. One last look around town. Traffic moving pretty smoothly through some of these areas. We'll talk more construction coming up in the next few minutes. Mark, Stephanie.
Thank you, Stephen. Two big decisions could come down before the end of the week.
One on boosters, another on an experimental COVID-19 antiviral. CNN's Britt Conway explains why the timing is crucial.
We're not going in the right direction.
Because that direction is up. The U.S. is now averaging more than 82,000 new COVID-19 cases a day, up 11% over the daily average 2 weeks ago.
This is exactly where we did not want to be coming into this winter, but we do have tools at our disposal.
One of those tools, boosters, though they're only available for certain groups right now. But Tuesday, Pfizer applied for emergency use authorization for boosters for all adults.
At this point, we know that immunity wanes over time. We also know that a third dose of the Pfizer-Moderna vaccine will substantially increase immune protection again.
The FDA says its vaccine advisors will not meet to discuss the matter, which means the FDA's decision on authorization could happen any time.
For the FDA to say everybody, all adults, should be getting a booster dose will be really huge to clarify that muddled messaging that never should have happened in the first place.
Another potential tool in the fight against COVID-19 is in the works. Pfizer's experimental antiviral pill called Paxlavid. The company has applied to the FDA for an EUA, and a source says the White House is finalizing a contract to purchase 10 million doses of the drug, with an official announcement expected as soon as this week. The pill could become an important weapon in the battle against the virus, especially as cases rise and winter closes in. I'm Britt Conway reporting.
Here at home, another local school district is voting to provide incentives for employees, but there is a requirement. Edgewood ISD is offering extra cash to those who are fully vaccinated against COVID-19. School board passed the one-time stipend last night. The amount of money given out is based on how long the employee or substitute has worked for the district. The payments will be distributed in December. For example, 5 years will get you under $50, 6 to 20 years, $200, and 40 years or more, somewhere between $450 to $500. Other measures passed last night, were extending emergency paid sick leave benefits through June 2022 and renovations at several schools, including John F. Kennedy High School.
In your morning headlines, Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen now says the U.S. government could reach its debt limit by the middle of next month. Yellen estimates the government will run out of money on December 15th, an extension from the previous deadline of December 3rd. Yellen says the Treasury Department might not have enough resources to continue financing government operations past the middle of December. The extended deadline gives lawmakers a bit more time to deal with the debt ceiling. However, it's not clear how Democrats who control Congress will move forward after Republican leaders have said they won't help raise the limit.
The National Transportation Safety Board, which investigates plane crashes, says it should automatically investigate commercial space flight crashes. In order to do so, the agency said it needs new federal rules to lay out how it investigates those incidents. Tuesday, the board called commercial space travel, quote, a unique mode of transportation. NTSB Chair Jennifer Homendy said clear investigative procedures are needed due to the fast growth of the commercial space travel business. NTSB has already investigated other commercial space incidents, including the 2014 Virgin Galactic crash that killed a test pilot.
And time now, it's 5:37 and about 66 degrees out there.
Still ahead, why some types of baby formula may be a little harder to find on store shelves.
Also next, we have hit a big milestone in our No Shave November program that raises money for cancer research, treatment, and prevention. We're going to have an update.
Outside with live cam, waiting on the next strong front. Here in South Texas, morning clouds are back and some fog in parts of our region. Mike will have an update coming up a little later in the newscast, and we will check back in with Stephen Cavazos for your Wednesday morning commute. Welcome back, everybody. We are about 17 days into No Shave November, and the beards are coming on strong. And some of us are now beyond the fully itchy point.
Aw, just moisturizer. Stephen Cavazos joins us now with an update on how things are going. Good morning.
What's the latest, Captain?
Good morning, guys. Not looking like Hank here, our KSAT No Shave mascot just yet, but we're doing really well, actually. Just checked our leaderboard. We have reached over $5,000. Now, we are right at the halfway point, so obviously the community's donations mean everything for this great cause. Keep in mind, we are raising funds that go directly towards benefiting cancer research, treatment, and prevention. Hear what your favorite morning meteorologist had to say about why he's participating.
I'm doing this because my grandfather died of prostate cancer years and years ago. It wasn't as much in the forefront. So hopefully this makes guys more comfortable to talk about ailments specific to them, as well as just their health in general, and maybe to get the point across a little bit more, even to my boys, as they get older, that they take care of themselves a lot more, and all the guys out there.
And we're going to continue to hear more from Team KSAT throughout the week. And if you'd like more information, just head over to ksat.com/noshave. There you will find a link to donate to Team KSAT, and we'll continue to share those updates right here on GMSA. And again, we have raised close to $5,400 at this moment in time, but we know the community continues to give, so that number can continue to go up. But we've been doing pretty good.
I fully believe that we are on track to meet our goal.
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah, I think so. We're hoping so. 10 organizations, guys, so keep the donations coming in.
All right. Thank you for the update, Stephen. Right now, 5:42, about 66 degrees.
And coming up next, the Animal Defense League standing by with a special pet that needs a new home.
Well, we have got a couple of the cutest kitties. The eyes on this one, I don't know if you can see these little brownish eyes and the gray coat, but absolutely adorable. And Michelle is here from the Animal Defense League. And who are these two little
So
ones?
this is Smoothie and Milkshake. They are two siblings. They are 2.5 months old, and they definitely have different personalities, which we've learned very quickly here. So this one is very rambunctious. I believe this is Milkshake, and I think we have Smoothie, which makes sense. Smooth.
Yes, a little smoother, a little calmer.
This
there,
one likes to shake things up.
Yeah, and the nice thing about cats, too, is they basically take care of themselves.
Yes.
And 2 is pretty much the same thing as 1. So if you can take them both, that would be fantastic. So, yes, not like in the outdoors here and being on TV, but what y'all got going on?
So, right now we're kind of just ramping up for Giving Tuesday, which is going to be the Tuesday after Thanksgiving. It's a huge day of giving just to local nonprofits. We encourage everyone to get involved, whether you're looking to donate your time, monetary donations, advocation for different nonprofits. So we're ramping up for that, and we're really excited to kind of announce different events that we may be doing for that. So we encourage everybody to follow our social media pages and just kind of learn what kind of fun things that we'll have available for everybody.
Okay, well, as you can see, Michelle's on borrowed time right now with this kitten. So if you'd like more information, head on over to the Animal Defense League, 11300 Nacogdoches, or the Paul Jolly Center across from the zoo. Thank you, dear.
Thank you so much.
Very vocal. In your morning consumer headlines, homeowners are spending plenty of money to improve their living spaces. Home Depot is reporting a 10% jump in sales in the past 12 months, and those receipts of $36.8 billion topped Wall Street estimates for the company. Home Depot shares have seen a 40% boom so far this year. And competitor Lowe's has also seen its stock soar this year. It's up more than 45%.
KFC wants its customers to ditch the drive-thru, the chicken chain providing an alternative that it believes may be more efficient. It's called Quick Pickup. You order ahead on the KFC app or website, drive the location and park in the dedicated spot. Then you just stroll in and snag your food off a shelf by the register. The idea is to reduce long lines that slow down service. Company cited a survey showing the speed of KFC drive-thrus is slowed down by about half a minute in 2021. To encourage people to use the option, the chain is offering free large fries with a $5 purchase.
Baby formula might be harder to find in stores. Walgreens says the demand for infant formula is increasing nationwide. At the same time, its suppliers are struggling to restock shelves. It could be a big problem for some parents, as it's not always easy to swap out one brand of formula for another. The Infant Nutrition Council of America says its members are working with distributors, retailers, and state agencies on innovative ways to ensure availability of infant formula. The maker of Enfamil infant formula says the company has ample supply.
And ample traffic out there in some parts of our area, even at 548.
That's right. It looks like there's flashing lights there at I-35, Stephen.
Yeah. This is that stall that we've been talking about for about an hour now. Still out there, not causing any big issues. But as Mark just mentioned, we are seeing a lot more vehicles getting out there this morning. Taking a look right at the map, not causing any issues. Now, it does appear that our system may have picked this up right around Judson. But of course, you know what to do when you see those flashing lights. Follow the rules of the road and give those drivers plenty of room to clear out. Let's go ahead and take some jumps around here because we do have that same issue right off I-37 southbound at Florida Street. Make sure you're checking those vehicles out there. As we continue to mention, anytime we start seeing those stalls, it's kind of concerning because the last place you want to be stranded is going to be the highway, especially this early in the morning. Now, that crash that we told you about here off Hebner Road is right at Research Drive. So this is actually a pretty serious crash, and Jonathan Gotho is actually heading out to the scene and will provide us more updates on the situation. But we were seeing a little bit of a buildup there right along Hebner. So again, he will be out there providing us more details on that crash and see how that could impact that morning drive. Wider look at the map does show we're not seeing big congestion just yet, but keep in mind it is still just a little bit. We're getting closer to 6 a.m., so more people will get out there on the roadways. Just make sure you take it easy out there this morning, guys.
Thank you, Steve. And we've been blessed with some nice weather around here. Other parts of the country are already in the deep freeze, gusty winds, snow. Yeah. They can have it for now.
Yeah.
Last check. Cutbank, Montana. Now, granted, that's way up, in the mountains up there along the U.S.-Canadian border, just about 14.
14 degrees above zero.
Yeah, that was just the air temperature.
Wow. We're okay with 66 this morning.
We're just fine.
But it could be a little more fallish around here. Okay. It's going to feel like it. And, well, it's looking like it a little bit. If you just kind of focus in on that one spot right there. And another beautiful view out there in Concan. And again, those
blue skies. That's what we're going to be seeing later on today. And of course, the moon out there. No clear skies right now. We got a lot of clouds hanging around here, and visibility has now dropped to 3/4 of a mile in New Braunfels, 1 3/4 Hondo. Still pretty good elsewhere, but it is very patchy but thick where there is fog showing up right now. And again, this is going to continue on. Got to watch it next few hours. 5 miles visibility, Uvalde, and yeah, the thickest is right there in New Braunfels, at least in all these reporting areas. So just watch it, especially in low-lying spots as well. And as the wind kind of eases up, in a lot of places there is a bit more of a breeze, which is why it's not as widespread a fog as what we had around here yesterday. Okay, as far as the humidity, nothing really changes. Southerly airflow throughout the day, winds out of the south, a bit of a breeze here and there. Then as we go into tonight, we're going to be watching the front move on through here. Look at how the dew point temperatures, the measure moisture in the atmosphere, drop off. The wind's going to be shifting around, and this is going to start to work its way on through here. About the, say, there we go. We had sunset very quickly on me there for a second. Right about, say, midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, and it will continue to push on through here. The winds will shift around. So again, by this time tomorrow morning, when you wake up, we're going to have much, much drier air out there. It is going to be breezy. It'll be cooler, and then it's going to stay very cold. And this dry air will then allow temperatures to really drop off then by Friday morning. Friday morning is going to be the coldest morning, rivaling what we've had a couple of weeks ago. So here's the computer model. And this is a long-range model. What it's not really picking up is a whole lot of rain associated with that front. A couple of showers are going to be possible. Don't get really excited with rain chances tonight, unfortunately. We'll have a little more sunshine in the afternoon tomorrow with some clouds mixed on in here. Very, very blustery tomorrow. Cold, mid-60s. Wind out of the north about 15, 20, 25 miles per hour. Friday morning, like I said, very cold. Chilly Friday night for football. Clouds and humidity come back in here over the weekend, especially on Sunday. Another front's going to move through late Sunday. Again, maybe a couple of showers. This is that broad brush computer model, so I think that's a little bit generous as far as the rain. Unfortunately, rain chances don't look great for the front tonight nor the front on Sunday. Later on next week, though, there are some indications going in toward Wednesday, day before Thanksgiving, and then on into Thanksgiving that there may be some rain chances around here. So that would be very, very welcome. Still, obviously, a little more than a week away, so things can change, but at least it's encouraging for right now. 75 degrees, mostly sunny skies today at noon, and then high temperatures going to make it up to 82. Again, mostly sunny skies, a little bit of a breeze out there, just enough humidity to notice it. And then late tonight, and when you wake up tomorrow morning, you will be feeling the effects of the front moving through here. Windy, about 52 tomorrow morning, only up to 64, and then down to 44 Friday morning. So it's going to be really nippy out there Friday, and then milder over the weekend. Another front late Sunday.
Surprise. Well, it shouldn't be. Surprise by tomorrow morning.
But still, when you walk in, it's like, whoa, Nelly. So,
That's true. Jacket's already hanging by the door.
Very good.
Good reminder.
Thank you.
5:53, about 66 degrees.
And coming up next, we'll tell you more about the Christmas tree lighting ceremony coming up at Travis Park.
Here are your lottery numbers. I think. Oh, no,
okay.
lottery numbers. Okay.
Later on. We'll be right back.
Good morning. Coming up, the countdown to a verdict in the Kyle Rittenhouse trial. The jury beginning the second day of deliberations, and we are there live. You'll see it and so much more right here on GMA.
It's finally here, the annual Heb Christmas Trees downtown. Now, crews are working to get the 50-foot tree decorated. It's in just 9 days. The official lighting ceremony will take place at Travis Park. Many say this time of year is always spent with family enjoying the holiday decorations.
We always go to Travis Park for the tree, and we're excited about the new ice rink, and we're excited for all our families to come and skate with us.
That skating rink, Travis Park, is set to open on Friday. The Christmas tree lighting ceremony takes place the day after Thanksgiving, just before 6:30 p.m. San Antonio's Tamale Festival gearing up to start soon, just in time for the holidays. Robert Reyes started things up after a similar event stopped several years ago at the Pearl. We have this story for you and the dates of the event right now on KSAT.com. Right now, let's take a look at TransGuide to see how things are looking out there right now as we approach the top of the hour. Still flashing lights, 35 at O'Connor. Stephen Cavazos is on top of things. We have one more hour of news, weather, and traffic still ahead on GMSA.
And we are starting this hour with a live look at the roads with TransGuide. Of course, there are flashing lights there at I-35. There are several accidents around the area. We're going to go ahead and check in with Stephen Cavazos in just a minute.
Are major retailers ready for the holiday shopping rush? We'll have the latest on supply chain disruptions across the country.
And taking a look outside with live cam, we're starting at 66 degrees this morning. But for the fans of fall, just hold on.
Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
And a good morning to you. It is Wednesday, November 17th.
Thanks for joining us. Happy Wednesday. We'll check in with Mike in just a minute about the weather changes. But for now, let's go ahead and check in with Stephen Cavazos.
Stephen, I understand we have a developing situation out on at least one San Antonio highway.
That's right, Mark and Stephanie. Right now, these shots at TransGuide are not picking up that situation. We can see here that traffic is moving smoothly through a lot of these shots that we've been spotting. However, those flashing lights you saw a little bit earlier is a stall up on the northeast side. We'll get to that in just a moment, but the pressing issue is going to be right here off Hebner Road at Research Drive, where we understand that a man in his 30s was hit by a vehicle and unfortunately did die at the scene. As you mentioned a little bit earlier, Jonathan Cotto is on his way to get more information, but right now it may be best to avoid this area. We're seeing a little bit of yellow building up there off Hebner. Nothing too major right now, but again, we do know one man has died after being hit by a vehicle earlier this morning. Again, Jonathan Cotto will be heading out there a little bit later to provide us details. Quick jump around town. We still have some stalls out there to be on the lookout for. I-37 southbound right at Florida Street. That pesky stall still lingers there, and we still see that one that we just saw on that TransGuide camera right here around I-35 northbound at O'Connor Road. It is getting pretty busy out there now that we are inching closer to morning rush, so make sure that you are taking it easy out there. Let's get over and head over to Mike, that is, with the forecast.
Thank you very much, sir. And boy, as expected, it is a day almost identical to yesterday. It's very, very mild out there this morning, and we have temperature right now standing at 66. So we're roughly 16, 17 degrees above the normal average low temperature. Humidity, yep, that's pretty high. We do have a decent wind, though, so that's helping to prevent a lot of fog from forming up. But where there is fog, it is very thick, like down in Pleasanton. That has dropped down to just 3/4 of a mile visibility. New Braunfels has actually improved ever so slightly. And then on the west side of town and hitting on 90, you're going to run into a little bit more fog out there. And that's really kind of the thickest in and around Bexar County, New Braunfels, and then over there in toward Hondo. But just you got to be on the lookout for the next couple of hours with all this humidity out there, and it's really going to be dependent. If winds slacken up, we'll probably see a little more fog developing. Winds stay up, we won't see quite as much fog. Mold, pigweed, and ragweed are all on the low side, and temperatures are going to stay very steady. Maybe even down if we drop down to 63 this morning. We'll have wind out of the south at 10 to 20 miles per hour, and then later on this afternoon it's going to warm up quickly. We're going to have a lot of sunshine this afternoon. 75 at noon, so already well above the normal high. And then like yesterday, we're going to make it up to 82 degrees, about 10 above normal. That will all be changing, though, later on tonight. Front's going to move through about midnight, wee hours of the morning. So by this time tomorrow morning, yes, you definitely will need a jacket, and you're going to want to keep it handy for a few days. Weekend forecast in just a couple of minutes. Steph, Mark.
Thank you very much, Mike. Well, a $12 million opioid settlement is earmarked for Bexar County, and nonprofits in the community are open to be on the list of receiving funding. Settlement's part of a $290 million agreement between Johnson & Johnson and the state of Texas. The county is expected to receive the money by the end of the year. The funds coming at a crucial time for nonprofits that are on the front lines of fighting addiction.
I think that there should be many places that help individuals who are looking for recovery that don't require money, that don't require insurance, because by the time most people get to that point where they're ready to get help, they've lost everything.
According to the latest data by the state, in 2016, there were more than 1,300 opioid-related deaths. Another name now being mentioned in the upcoming race for Bexar County Judge, former San Antonio Mayor, former President of the SAISD School Board, Ed Garza, is thinking about running. If he decides to officially enter the race, he'll join former Judge Peter Sakai and Ina Minhadas. Minhadas, an attorney before becoming a state rep in 2015. And Sakai, a former judge who spent more than 2 decades focused on children and families in crisis. Garza says he'll make his decision by Thanksgiving. The deadline to file for county judge is next month.
Mothers Against Drunk Driving are optimistic that the newly signed federal infrastructure bill could possibly keep intoxicated drivers off the road. As part of that bill, automakers are now facing a deadline to make technology that detects intoxicated drivers a standard feature in all new vehicles in just a matter of years. This could include sensors or cameras that monitor a driver's head or eyes. The technology has existed for many years and is already available in many vehicles. Mothers Against Drunk Driving reporting that San Antonio has one of the worst drunk driving problems in the country, and every tool is needed to save lives.
You know, it's not just the victim, it's the victim's family, it's their co-workers, it's their friends, it's their neighbors, it's the police officers that arrived on the scene, the first responders that maybe worked on the family members. Why go through all of that trauma when we have the ability to save lives?
The monitoring technology could also prevent other crashes caused by drowsy or distracted driving. The federal government working to draft new rules. Rollout of the new standard feature is expected by the year 2026. And we turn now to encouraging news about the holiday shopping season. New figures show Americans are going on a shopping spree.
And despite the challenges of the post-pandemic economy, some major retailers insist that they are ready.
ABC's Andrea Fujii has more.
This morning, America's largest retailer, Walmart, insists it's ready for the holidays despite the supply chain crisis affecting nearly every corner of the economy.
Stores and fulfillment centers are well staffed, and our price position remains strong.
As many stores struggle to stock shelves, a new earnings report shows Walmart's inventory levels are actually up 11% from the same time last year. And during a call with investors, the CEO said this about the rising cost of products.
Fighting inflation is in our DNA.
Americans are still eager to shop, even with the highest inflation in 30 years driving up prices. Home Depot Tuesday reported a nearly 10% increase in earnings, fueled by a surge in home improvement projects. And new data from the Commerce Department shows retail sales jumping nearly 2% from September to October, more than was predicted. In the meantime, a positive sign for the backlog of cargo ships at America's ports. The Port of Los Angeles reports since last month there's been a 29% drop in the amount of cargo sitting unloaded. Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg spoke Tuesday about efforts underway to ease the bottlenecks. They include encouraging more 18 to 20-year-olds to start a career in truck driving and the recent push to operate ports around the clock.
I heard somebody say this is not a silver bullet situation. It's more silver buckshot, a lot of different things that can be deployed at the same time.
Andrea Fujii, ABC News, New York.
The Justice Department asking for the longest sentence yet for a defendant charged in the January 6th insurrection at the Capitol. They're asking for so-called QAnon shaman Jacob Chansley to be sentenced to a prison term of more than 4 years, followed by 3 years of supervised release. Pictures of Chansley went viral after the incident. He appeared shirtless, wearing face paint and a horned furry headdress, which he led others through while he led others through the Capitol. Prosecutors said in a sentencing request that they hope to use Chansley's sentence as an example to deter future attacks on the government. Chansley, who has been in jail for nearly 10 months, is set to be sentenced next week.
An Arizona congressman is facing an historic censure vote today because of a cartoon he posted online depicting violence against Democrats. ABC's M. Nguyen has the details.
House Democrats are expected to vote today to censure Republican Congressman Paul Gosar, 1 week after his social media account circulated an anime video depicting Gosar killing Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and charging at President Biden with 2 swords.
We cannot have leaders joking about murdering each other as well as threatening the President of the United States.
Gosar later mocking the outrage, tweeting this meme saying, quote, "It's a cartoon, relax," and posting this message saying, quote, "God gives his hardest battles to his strongest warriors."
This video had nothing to do with harming anybody. It's exactly what you're talking about. It's an anime. We were trying to reach out to the newer generation that likes these anime.
Gosar is also expected to be stripped of his committee assignments, including his seat on the House Oversight Committee, on which Ocasio-Cortez also serves. Censure is a formal statement of disapproval and is the most severe punishment in the House other than expulsion. If today's vote passes, it would be only the 3rd time in the last 40 years that a member has been censured.
Mr. Rangel, kindly appear in the well.
The last was Democrat Charlie Rangel in 2010 for violating House ethics rules. M. Wynn, ABC News, Washington.
6:09, about 66 degrees.
And still ahead on GMSA, Snapchat wants to play a bigger role in your diet. We're going to have the details.
And outside with live cam, waiting on the next strong cold front. It is on the way. So heads up right now. Mike is giving you plenty of warning. You will need that extra layer by tomorrow. Welcome back, 6:13. Topping today's tech headlines, Instagram stepping up its effort to get rid of bots. The social media platform reportedly asking suspicious accounts for video selfies to verify they're human. Some users say they've even been asked to show selfies showing multiple angles of their face.
And feeling the metaverse, that's Mark Zuckerberg testing out gloves that allow users to virtually feel texture and pressure, but they also allow you to play Jenga and chess. You can even shake hands and fist bump in virtual reality. They've been in production for 7 years.
Awesome, a new way to lose at Jenga.
Yes.
Gloves. Snapchat's camera can now recommend recipes based on food you scan. Thanks to a partnership with allrecipes.com, Snapchat can recognize more than 1,200 items and come up with more than 4,500 dishes. There will also be Wikipedia links for each ingredient.
And the problems on the road kind of piling on. Let's go ahead and check in with Stephen Cavazos.
That's right. Traffic troubles continue for your Wednesday morning commute. I-10 at the Y, not looking good out there. Let's take a closer look. We do have a line of road flares, some flashing lights, so indicating we're seeing some sort of closure out here. Let's take you right to the map because it doesn't look like it's impacting traffic just yet. But first, I actually want to start here with that deadly crash here of Hebner Road at Research Drive. Again, Jonathan Gotho is heading out to the scene to get us more information. So right now, I would suggest just to avoid that area for the time being, especially with first responders possibly still out there. Now that TransGuide camera that you just saw, let's take a look right over there and see how that's impacting traffic. Seeing a little bit of a buildup there in I-10 westbound right at I-35, but make sure that you are planning accordingly because it's not the only problem we've spotted just yet. Taking another jump down over here, that stall still lingers at I-37 southbound at Florida Street, and a jump up here does show we have another crash that's right here at I-10 at 30 at Loop 410. So not labeled, but make sure that you are watching for those first responders. And another crash right here off I-10 eastbound at Foster Road. It is shaping up to be a busy morning. Again, we're going to continue to give you all those updates right here throughout the morning and see how that does impact that morning drive. Guys?
Time for a bus stop forecast.
Yes, indeed. Jackets, maybe not this morning. We're in the mid 60s, some 50s. So kind of that dampish cool. So you might want a light little jacket. And we're going to stay fairly steady. Patchy fog around the area this morning. It's not as widespread, but where there is fog, it is kind of thick. New Braunfels, as a matter of fact, once again has some fairly thick fog. And then we're back to spring again this afternoon. 82 degrees, wind out of the south, 10 to 20 miles per hour. That'll be it because this time tomorrow morning we're going to be welcoming fall again after the front moves through tonight. Beautiful picture of the moon, and I love the caption where it says, "I've kind of run out of words to describe the moon." Any poets in the house? Anyone? Can you guys think of anything?
Let's see. What is it again?
Any poets in the house? He's run out of descriptions for the moon.
Moon. Can I think about it? Get back to you by noon.
By noon. Oh, you're a poet. You didn't know it.
Show's only on till 7 o'clock. Anyway, thank you very much for that. Speaking of the moon, of course, there is going to be an eclipse Friday morning, and you got to get up really early or stay up really late because it's going to begin just after 1 o'clock in the morning, and then it's going to be at its maximum right around 3 o'clock Friday morning, and then by 5 o'clock it is going to be coming to an end. And as far as the weather conditions, there may be still a couple of clouds left over. It's going to look more encouraging than what it is. We're not going to have this scenario around here, but we'll have a couple of clouds here and there. I think a lot of folks, though, are going to get a chance to see it. Well, as soon as I said New Braunfels had some fog, now it's back up to 7 miles, but it was down to 3/4 of a mile about 15 minutes, half an hour ago. Fog around Hondo and 3/4 of a mile visibility around Pleasanton. So again, it's not as widespread, but where there is some fog, it is kind of thick, like I said, around Pleasanton, so just watch out for that. So here's a computer model, and we will have more sunshine later on today, a couple of clouds off to the east. Now tonight, here's the front moving through here, and it's going to be late tonight, right around midnight tomorrow morning, early morning hours. A couple of showers. This particular computer model, I think, is a little more generous with the rain. Some others don't really have much of anything out there, so rain is not going to be a big event. If you get a couple of showers, that's going to be fantastic. This will continue to push down to the south. Then throughout the morning hours tomorrow, we'll actually see a little bit of clearing by late morning and afternoon tomorrow. Then going into Friday morning, this model does keep a couple of clouds around here, some breaks, especially in portions of the hill country. And yeah, I think it'll be working in our behalf, or it's going to be in our favor as far as the cloud cover for viewing the eclipse on Friday. And then after that, it's going to be more humid. But it will be, if you are going to be out viewing the eclipse Friday morning, bundle up because it's going to be really, really cold Friday morning. 75 degrees today at noon, mostly sunny skies. And then a high temperature today is going to make it up to 82, 10 degrees above normal, enough humidity out there. That front's going to move through then late tonight, maybe now squeezing out a couple of showers here and there. Again, don't get really excited about rain chances. Windy, kind of blustery tomorrow. I love using that to describe fall weather. Mid 60s and windy. It's blustery.
Haven't been able to use it a lot yet.
I know.
Once or twice.
Tomorrow will be one of those days. Really cold Friday morning, mid 40s. Milder over the weekend. Another front late Sunday.
The best of both worlds.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Mike.
619, about 66 degrees.
And we are looking at this scene from a deadly crash. Jonathan Cota will have more information coming up later this morning.
Find your rhythm, your happy place. Find your breaking point. Then break it. Every emergency gives you a potent blend of nutrients, so you can emerge your best with Emergency.
In this morning's GMA First Look, an ABC News exclusive.
We're flowing 255,000 an hour.
We're getting a first-hand look at holiday crunch time at UPS's largest shipping hub in the world, Worldport.
Here at the UPS Worldport in Louisville, they are hard at work. They say holiday shipments are already going out, and it's just mid-November. Volume is going up. So you haven't experienced a lot of these delays we've been seeing around the world?
No, it's really not affected us here at Worldport or UPS.
And why is that?
Just because the things that we've done and put in place as far as getting ready for peak season and the preparation and the extra capacity that we've added, our network's running on time and we are good to go.
And coming up at 7 a.m., we'll tell you how you can ship and receive your packages on time for the holidays. With your GMA First Look, I'm Gio Benitez, ABC News, Louisville, Kentucky.
In morning sports, DeJounte Murray coming off a triple-double Sunday night at the Staples Center against the Lakers, hoping that production could help against the Kawhi-less Clippers last night. First shot of the game for the Spurs, Derek White knocks down the step-back three to get the Spurs off on the right foot. Murray, meanwhile, nearly missed his second triple-double, leading the Spurs with 26 points, 12 rebounds, and 9 assists. DeJounte also logged 19 points, but in the end it wasn't enough. Spurs just couldn't follow through, losing to the Clips 106-92. in Los Angeles. Staying at LA, the iconic Staples Center will have a new name come Christmas Day. Get ready. It's Crypto.com Arena. It will be known as the home of both the Lakers and the Clippers. Its naming rights deal is said to be worth, are you ready for this, $700 million over 20 years.
Pro football coverage powered by Davis Law Firm.
It's about to get real for the Cowboys Sunday when they go up against Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. But the crew is going into Kansas having their best all-around game of the season against the Atlanta Falcons. The boys were stellar in all three phases: offense, defense, and particularly special teams. In fact, Cowboys special teams have now blocked a punt in 3 of their last 4 games, including that by Torrance Armstrong that resulted in a Cowboys touchdown when it was recovered in the end zone by Nashawn Wright. Same Cowboy accidentally touched a blocked punt against the Broncos past the line of scrimmage that went back to Denver by rule after the Broncos recovered.
For Nashawn to recover it, I mean, you can't make this up. Just the next week he has a chance at redemption, I guess you could call it, even though last week I don't consider it an error. But for him to find the ball again, just, shows he's got a little nose for the football.
Cowboys and Chiefs kick off at Arrowhead Stadium, 3:25 Sunday afternoon.
We'll be watching. Time now, 6:25 and 66 degrees for now. Still ahead on GMSA, the latest on coronavirus booster shots and when we might see them get authorized for everyone over 18.
It's already been a very eventful morning on the roads. We've got a flare line now out in a couple spots, 35 and Martin. Stephen is busy this morning. He will get you up to speed coming up next.
COVID-19 infections are rising yet again. I'm ABC's M. Nguyen. We're learning that Pfizer is trying to get its booster and COVID-19 medication approved by the FDA. What that means for you, coming up.
Outside with live cam, just a sliver of a sunrise out there. If you're visiting San Antonio for the first time, you're asking yourself, is it always this warm in November? The answer is about to change.
Yes.
Good morning, everybody. To you, it is Wednesday. It is November 17th.
Happy Wednesday. Thanks for joining us. For the fans of fall, just hold on one more day. But right now, we've had a busy morning on the roadways.
Here's Stephen Cavazos with the very latest.
A troubling start to this Wednesday morning. Mark and Stephanie, I-10 at the Y. We see flashing lights out there, a line of road flares. That's because a crash has been detected right at the Y, and you can see that traffic is moving, but we know that this is impacting some of the lanes there that you can see are closed off as first responders are working to get this cleared up, but definitely going to cause a headache this morning if you travel through the downtown San Antonio area for your morning commute. Let's bring you to the map right now because that crash is detected off I-10 eastbound at Frio Street. Earlier we told you it was west, but KSAT has since updated that to the eastbound lanes, again right at Frio Street where we see that traffic building in those lanes. Let's take a jump because it's not the only issue we've spotted this morning. Another crash detected here off I-10 westbound at Foster Road, not causing as many issues, but when you see those first responders, follow the rules of the road, please. Let's bring you to this crash here off Hebner Road at Research Drive, a deadly crash involving a pedestrian. Jonathan Cotto is there live this morning. Jonathan, what are we seeing right now?
Good morning, Stephen. As you mentioned, I'm located at the intersection of Hebner and Research Drive, where just moments ago, the body of the man that was hit by a car was taken by the medical examiner. Information is limited, but this is what we know. The San Antonio Police Department responding to this scene right here at the intersection of Hebner and Research. That's located on the city's northwest side. They say a man was traveling on Hebner towards I-10 and didn't see the man walk out onto the street when he hit him. Police say that man is believed to have been in his late 30s, early 40s. He was pronounced dead at the scene by EMS. Now, right now, the investigation, of course, into this crash has taken place. No charges are pending, and they are ruling this to be an accident. Reporting from the city's northwest side, Jonathan Cotto, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you very much, Jonathan. All right, as far as heading out this morning, you really don't need a jacket. And kind of going back to what Mark had said about, is it always like this in November? It seems like, yeah, every once in a while it is. We get these very, very warm days. We're at 66 right now, which is 17 above normal. Dew point's at 63, which means there's a lot of moisture in the atmosphere out there. Now, as you can see, we do have a cloud cover and a little bit of a breeze. So that's helping to prevent a lot of widespread fog this morning. But there still are a couple of spots. New Braunfels has been going back and forth between good visibility and then less than a mile. 1.75 miles Pleasanton, 2 at Hondo. It's, again, not as widespread as what it was yesterday, but there are those spots. Hondo, Uvalde, some fog there, and it's improved over there along the coastal plain, but we'll still have to be on the lookout for a little bit throughout the rest of the morning. Mold, pigweed, ragweed are all on the low side and mostly sunny, very warm again today. Very unusual November weather, 10 degrees above normal for a high temperature. But then tonight, that front's going to be moving through late tonight, wee hours of the morning tomorrow. It may squeeze out a couple of showers. kind of doubtful. Don't get your hopes really high for rain with this, but it will definitely bring in some colder air. It's going to be windy tomorrow. Temperatures only in about the mid 60s, and we'll see some sunshine in the afternoon. Then really cold to start off Friday. Great looking day on Friday. Good football weather Friday night, but the humidity is going to come back in here fairly quickly over the weekend. It is going to be milder. Then another front's going to move through late on Sunday. We'll take a look at that and also look ahead to Thanksgiving week coming up in just a couple of minutes. Steph, Mark.
Mike, thank you. To the coronavirus now, Metro Health urging everyone to continue using masks, getting vaccinated ahead of the Thanksgiving holiday. Last year, Bexar County saw a surge in COVID cases during the holidays, and health officials don't want a repeat. Right now, Metro Health's COVID risk level is still in the low category. The Centers for Disease Control Prevention says outdoor gatherings are safer than being indoors.
Another local school district voting to provide incentives for employees, but there is a requirement. Edgewood ISD is offering extra cash to those who are fully vaccinated against COVID-19. The school board passed the one-time stipend last night. The amount of money given out is based on how long the employee or substitute has worked for the district. The payments will be distributed in December. For example, 5 years and under will get $50, 16 to 20 years is $200, and 40 years and more between $450 to $500. Other measures passed last night were extending emergency paid sick leave benefits through June of 2022 and renovations at several schools, including John F. Kennedy High School. Health officials are sounding the alarm on the recent rise of new COVID-19 cases in nearly half the country. We're also learning the FDA is expected to approve booster shots for everyone 18 years and older by the end of the week. ABC's M. Nguyen has the latest this morning.
After weeks of declines, COVID-19 cases are climbing yet again. At least 21 states are reporting a rise in infections, and 12 are seeing more hospitalizations now than just last week. The nation's top infectious disease expert, Dr. Anthony Fauci, warns there are several factors fueling the recent surge.
When you have a virus as transmissible as Delta, in the context of waning immunity, that dynamic is going to negatively impact even the vaccinated people. So it's a double whammy. The unvaccinated are clearly highly vulnerable.
Right now, boosters are available for high-risk people and anyone who got the J&J vaccine. That could change as early as Friday. ABC is learning the FDA may expand authorization for the Pfizer vaccine booster for anyone 18 and older. This comes as a growing number of states have already expanded access to the shots.
Anyone who wants a booster can get a booster shot.
There's plenty of supply. We'll get this out. That's how we're going to get through these holidays safely.
The new steps towards more booster and treatment accessibility is a sign of hope for states like New York. New York City's mayor announcing plans for New Year's Eve, saying crowds are welcome to come back to Times Square again with proof of vaccination or a negative COVID test.
This New Year's Eve, Times Square, everyone come on down. We're celebrating.
Pfizer is also asking the FDA for authorization for its new antiviral pill called Paxlavid. It's a COVID-19 medication which early trials show can reduce the risk of deaths and hospitalizations by 89%. In Washington, M. Nguyen, ABC News.
And today is your last chance to get your hands on a rare Texas license plate. My Plate started auctioning off plates with low numbers and messages like Tejanos, Spurs, Custom, Rare, and Lovebug. Each plate comes with a 5-year term. Opening bids started at $500 and bidding closes at 8 o'clock tonight. Details on how to put your name in the hat on our website at KSAT.com.
Also on KSAT.com this morning, President Biden is pushing for more electric vehicle, chargers around the country as part of his giant bipartisan infrastructure bill. Biden will be in Detroit today visiting a GM plant that manufactures electric vehicles. The president is hoping to make the case that allocating over $7 billion to electric chargers will help the country advance in green energy. But it's likely that $7 billion won't be enough. The International Council on Clean Transportation says the U.S. will need 2.5 million charging stations by 2030 if electric vehicle sales continue rising. Right now, there are only about 45,000 charging stations nationwide. We want to get you updated on the progress for KSAT's No Shave November campaign.
Stephen Cavazos joins us now with all those details. Good morning again.
Morning.
Hey, good morning, guys. Well, we are still trucking along pretty nicely. Over $5,000 raised in day 17. So Mark said that we're right on track, and that's a great place to be. As we know, all of the giving does not stop, and obviously the people that are benefiting are those that are really suffering right now. People impacted by cancer directly, and it is a universal disease. In fact, Mark, you share your reason as to why you're doing it this year.
I'm doing No Shave November in memory of First Sergeant David Larson, an infantryman in the U.S. Army. His combat deployments took him to places like Kosovo, Iraq, and Afghanistan. Dave survived numerous ambushes, firefights, and even an IED blast, only to be diagnosed with colon cancer. After 26 years of service in the military and lengthy treatments here in San Antonio, he lost that battle back in 2019. He left behind a wife, Simona, and their daughter, Charlotte. I'm doing this for all three of them. Even though I never met Dave in person, my respect for the soldier's son, husband, and father runs deep. His life mattered.
Love that, Mark. And here's a look at how the guys are doing. This is our mid-month progress photo. I think I look the same. I don't think that I've changed that much, but all our guys look the same. My dad's proud of me. I FaceTimed yesterday, so he was happy to have a little mustache growing. But again, we've raised close to $5,400. And Mark, I just have to say I love your reason and respect it so much, doing it for one of our nation's heroes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. For Dave. Definitely for Dave.
And KSAT.com/NoShave is how people can continue to give. So please sure to head over there and find out why all our guys are participating this year. Open your hearts and those pocketbooks.
And a reminder, folks, it doesn't have to be hundreds of dollars. Right. We'll take $1 here and $5 there. All of it adds up, and we thank you so much for donations to this point.
Thank you, guys.
Stephen, thank you.
Thank you.
Right now, folks, 6:39, about 66 degrees.
The walls of downtown seem to be talking quite a bit these days, and they have a lot to say. I'm Katrina Weber. I'll introduce you to the group behind all this colorful expression coming up.
You can't spell the word heart without the word art, and one organization is making sure art has a big place in the heart of our city.
Central San Antonio, with the help of local artists, has been on a mission to add more murals to the downtown area.
And this week's If These Walls Could Talk, Katrina Weber shows us how they've been painting the town.
With a spray paint can in his hand, this artist, known only as Scotch, can create a whole mood.
It's about making everyone happy, like just making smiles on faces.
Peacock Alley is just the latest location where he has spread this type of joy. His artwork covering walls from one end of the block to the other. It's part of a much bigger picture for downtown, and Scotch is one of several artists painting it all. They're working hand in hand with Central San Antonio on a project called Art Everywhere.
Art really helps us share our commonalities, and it helps us find what we have in common, and I think we really need more of that right now.
Andy Rodriguez, who was overseeing this campaign, says adding 21 new murals downtown in 2021 was the goal. And so far, they're right on schedule. The wall paintings, all done on private property, offer something for all of the public.
Some of our pieces are, kind of thought-provoking, and they look and you're kind of questioning and you're thinking, and others just make you laugh.
The Art Everywhere campaign was a new undertaking for Centro this year, and they made a point to work with artists who are relatively new to the game, those who are just emerging in the world of murals. Although Scotch already had 4 years under his belt as a muralist, he's still glad for the opportunity.
It's amazing. I haven't lost for words a lot of times just to be part of the movement and the projects.
While he may not know just what to say, pictures are worth 1,000 words. And in this case, Central San Antonio hopes they're also worth 1,000 smiles. Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
And just a reminder, we have teamed up with the San Antonio Police Department again to try and gather as many shoes as possible for children in need.
That's right. As part of our Share the Shoes drive, we're looking for shoes of all sizes, toddlers to teens. All the shoes will be donated to benefit the local nonprofit Good Samaritan Community Services next month, just in time for the holidays.
And you still have plenty of time. You can make a donation through November 30th.
Traffic situation has changed by the minute this morning.
Let's check back with Stephen Cavazos.
We have some good news here. 35 at Martin. This is a shot from TransGuide. If you were with us a little bit earlier, you did see a line of road flares, some flashing lights. Now we're seeing the lanes wide open, and that's some good news. So that crash that was out there earlier looks like it has since cleared out. Let's go ahead and take you to the map, but we are still seeing some of those buildup in I-10 eastbound at Frio Street where that crash was detected. You can see that red and orange on your screen there. Just make sure that you're taking it slow out there. Not the only issue we've spotted as we take you a little bit further down over here off US 90 eastbound at General McMullen Drive. Another crash has come in. Now keep in mind, this is in the eastbound lanes. If you're coming into the San Antonio area in the next few moments from Castroville, make sure you're driving carefully and watch out for those first responders. Let's take a jump up here. We still have that pesky crash off I-10 westbound at Foster Road. We are seeing a little bit of a buildup there getting onto the 410 highway, but make sure you are giving those first responders plenty of room to get these scenes cleared. Wednesday morning traffic has started off quite busy, but as we take one last look at TransGuide, the good news is that crash here at I-35 at Martin, which was near the Y, looks like it has cleared out traffic and the lanes are open, guys.
Kind of creepy crawly over there.
I know this picture looks like it should have been around Halloween, but it's just kind of cool looking. So looks like Spider-Man's falling out of the sky. Although I wonder if that spider is just like
it looks
close up.
Enormous.
Yeah, I was going to say, objects may appear larger. What's it say in the mirror? Objects may appear larger than
Objects
they
in
appear.
mirror are larger than they appear.
That's it. Yes, thank
That's
you very
what
much.
that looks like.
Still, it is creepy looking, but cool picture. Thank you very much for that one. And lots of clouds hanging around here. Gray skies. No problem as far as visibility in town, but Hondo's down to 1.75 miles. Pleasanton has actually improved, as has New Braunfels. So again, fog is not as widespread this morning as what it was yesterday, but there are those patches where it's pretty thick. So just be on the lookout for that. But a lot of it's because of the cloud cover, and then also we do have a decent breeze in places. All right, temperature 66 degrees. The average low is 49. Way above that, we've got some humidity out there as well, but that's going to be changing later on tonight. So we'll stay not oppressively humid, but humid enough. And then by later on tonight, here comes the front. It's going to be working its way on through here in the overnight hours, and the wind will start to shift around. So by this time tomorrow morning, winds out of the north, very breezy, much drier air. Cooler tomorrow morning. You'll definitely need to coat tomorrow, and then keep it handy throughout the day. And then that drier air continues to settle on in here, as does the cooler air, and that's going to make us even colder. Friday morning is going to be the coldest morning. Actually, it's going to be rivaling some of the coldest mornings we've had in the past couple of weeks. All right, this is all being driven by that big, huge low up there in Canada. This is what's pulling the colder air, sweeping it across the country. So this cold air, yeah, it's not going to get that cold, but there's your gee whiz for the morning. Cutbank 14. You want to top that? Wind chill 6 in Cutbank as of right now. So, yep, there is cold air around here. Not around here yet, but like I said, that is going to be coming by later on tonight. So here's what's going on. We've got that big low up there, sends the trough on through here later on tonight. Cools us down. It's not going to last all that long. We're going to be mild again by the weekend. Very tranquil kind of a pattern. Another weak front right here is going to be working its way through late Sunday into Monday. Then we'll sort of get into a tranquil pattern. Then we're going to be watching that low out there to the west of us, and that's looking like it's going to throw enough moisture in here, enough energy to give us a chance for some rain, maybe by Thanksgiving as well as next Friday. So kind of wait and see situation, still a week away, but that's what it's looking like and been looking like the past couple of days. 75 today at noon, mostly sunny skies. High temperature up to 82, about 10 above normal. And then tomorrow, whole different story because the front moves through tonight. So down to 52, only 64 in the afternoon. So finally below normal for a high temperature. Same thing on Friday after starting off at 44, and then mid and upper 70s. So warms right back up over the weekend. Next front on Sunday.
I kind of like that we have a little bit of everything.
It keeps you on your toes, but I'd kind of like just staying cool.
I know you're waiting for that.
Thanksgiving, yeah.
Soon.
Because it is November.
That's true.
6:49, 66 degrees.
And are you trying to give up smoking? And will it really make a difference to the damage you've already done? Find out tomorrow on GMSA.
Outside with Live Cam. We'll wrap up the newscast coming up after this break.
One man is dead after being hit by a car on the city's northwest side. Good morning. I'm Jonathan Cotto. San Antonio police responding to the intersection of Hebner and Research Drive shortly before 5 a.m. They say a man was traveling on Hebner towards I-10 and didn't see the man walk out onto the street when he'd hit him. Police say that man is believed to have been in his late 30s, early 40s. He was pronounced dead at the scene by EMS. No charges are pending, and as of now, police are ruling this to be an accident. But of course, this crash is under investigation. Reporting from the city's northwest side, Jonathan Cotto, KSAT 12 News.
This morning, Wisconsin's governor is asking for peace in Kenosha as the jury resumes deliberations at the Kyle Rittenhouse trial. Emotions running high outside court Tuesday, clashes breaking out between supporters of Rittenhouse and those who insist he's guilty.
It's not about that, bro.
We talked to you afterward? Nah.
As our station in Milwaukee spoke to one Rittenhouse supporter, another woman interrupted the interview.
Why y'all talking to her?
We're trying to get both sides of this.
Ain't no both sides of it's murder.
Rittenhouse faces life in prison if he's convicted of the most serious charge of intentional homicide. He claims he acted in self-defense last year when he fatally shot 2 men, saying he was protecting property in Kenosha during protests after the police shooting of Jacob Blake. Before the jury began deliberations, this highly unusual sight in court, Rittenhouse drawing numbers himself to determine which 6 jurors out of the 18 would be dismissed from considering his fate. One legal expert calling it an interesting piece of theater. But the judge says defendants in his courtroom have pulled the numbers of jurors for years. The jury then deliberated for about 8 hours Tuesday, asking the judge for extra copies of the jury instructions that explain self-defense and provocation, both at the heart of this case. Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, New York.
SAISD focusing on STEM learning this week, and they're pushing to bring more STEM education to East Side schools.
Today on GMSA at 9, Tiffany Huertas explains what STEM Week is and the importance of bringing this learning to the city's East Side.
5 minutes till 7.
Let's go check back with Stephen Cavazos.
A lot of those issues we've been tracking have since cleared out, but we're still spotting some congestion as morning rush is now here. Take a quick look at the roadways right now. You can see from this shot, things are moving pretty smoothly. I-10 at the Y, that crash is cleared out, but let's take you out here to I-10 eastbound at Freya where it was detected. We're still seeing a buildup there in those eastbound lanes. Watch out for that. And we do have a crash here off US 90 eastbound at General McMullen that does look like it's cleared out, but as we take a wider look at the map, it does show those congestion spots. Pack your patience this morning. Mike, will they need to pack their sweater?
Not today. Tomorrow, if you're going to be out overnight, and tomorrow morning, yes, pack a sweater and a jacket. It is very warm and humid out there right now. We do have fog. It is thickened up once again at Hondo, 3/4 of a mile visibility. So just a little bits here and there, and mid 60s right now. We're going to be up in the low 80s later on today, but then the front comes through tonight, and yep, it is going to feel like fall the next couple of days.
You know, 44 is going to feel like 24 around here, considering what it's been like lately.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, guys.
You guys have a great day, and we'll see you back here at 9.